How's it going, guys? My name is Colton Marvellius, or as the internet calls me, Ill-Fitting Trousers.
And I'm Gooblaglor, the big goblin in the sky.
And this is the Weekly Rundown, the only podcast that is Grandma's Little Helper. Yes, we are.
I don't like that one.
You don't like that one?
I don't think it's very funny.
Wow.
I think we should... Yeah, I think I'm done with the podcast, honestly. That was kind of the last straw right there.
Well, you get
The straw that broke Grandma's back.
You get no birthday.
Not fair.
Yeah,
So,
speaking of birthdays, by the way, I think, as of the
Oh yeah, Mark Hamill turned, 75 recently? 69?
No.
I think he just had a
Mark
birthday.
Hamill doesn't get a birthday either. He's Luke Skywalker. He's gonna live forever. So he just canceled his birthday so he wouldn't age.
True.
Yeah. But, Mr. Brendan Howard over here, he kind of had a little birthday.
I had a little bash, a little birthday bash.
Oh, yeah.
Had some Italian food.
Shrek was there.
Am I allowed to say that these days, Italian food, or is that not PC?
Yeah. But, anyway, yeah, happy birthday, buddy. I hope you had a good one.
Shut up.
Oh, I'm embarrassing him.
Stop it.
Well, today we're going to be talking about something that is always a little fun in video games, especially the violent ones.
Adult themes.
Adult themes, yeah. We're talking about prostitution in the Witcher games.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, shit. Wrong list, sorry, my bad. We're talking about weapons in video games. Brennan, do you have you're the birthday boy, you got a weapon for us? Or you wanted to talk about some weapons, I think, right?
Well, Splitgate.
Oh,
What do you think of Splitgate?
I like the bat. The BFG.
I know you like the bat. I hate the bat. The bat's bloody. Well, but it is fun sometimes.
It is.
If everyone has a bat, it's fine.
Yeah, if you get that lunge going, that bat lunge, like Batman.
Yeah. Well, if you can get it, it's like a 50-50 chance that you'll ever get the lunge.
Yeah,
but it's 100% chance that you're gonna do a trade-off every time you hit someone. So there's, I guess you got to kind of fake them out, let them swing and miss.
Yeah, I mean, I know you don't like the bat, but like, I honestly, unless everyone has a shotgun, I don't like the shotgun.
The shotgun's stupid too. It's overpowered, dude.
It has way too crazy of a range.
Yeah.
Like, it shoots way too far. It does way too much damage.
And it doesn't spread enough at range either. Like, the damage is, like, maybe halved once you're out of range of the shotgun. And then it's just 2 hits with it. And it's still, like, it's an effective sniper.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is kind of fun. But it's always baloney getting killed with a shotgun in that stupid game.
Yeah.
I think they do have a good variety in that game though of weapons, which is so important. Obviously,
the pistol's the worst. Pistol, yeah, terrible.
Kind of is. Pistol needs a little work.
It's because it's not like I don't like the. We were talking about the bat and the shotgun because they're overpowered, but the pistol is so underpowered that I feel like I could drop a clip into someone. Like, granted, they're not all headshots or anything.
If they are all headshots, it will kill them.
Yeah, but like...
But that's so hard, because it's such a... Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to reload in the middle of that, and like, to get the kill.
But like, I don't know, the pistol is kind of shafted in that game, because it never... You'd think it's like a sidearm, but like, you never really start with it except like one competitive game mode. So otherwise, a pistol is pretty much unseen unless you're playing gun game.
Yeah.
Or Fiesta.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool. I don't know. I feel like a pistol would be better off taking the DMR's place in that, Because, like, usually normal team deathmatches in Splitgate, you start with the assault rifle and then the DMR.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I guess, like, Halo, their version was the pistol instead of the DMR. So that's kind of what I was expecting because it's so similar to Halo. But instead they got this this weird spammy pistol that doesn't show up too much. And I think it's kind of lame because I like pistols.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it'd be cool if it was, like, they could, like, nerf it by making it a revolver almost.
Yeah.
And then, like, it could be more powerful, but you have less shots.
Like Cowboy in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely more interested in that. Of course, like, yeah, you'd have to do like 6 shots or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that would be all right, you know. Like, granted, I think if you land all 6 shots, that could be the kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting. They could keep the super fast spammy, but I mean that feels kind of weird because, like, I mean, we have machine guns, so
yeah,
do something different. But they could keep that, but the reload time is just so slow, and that kind of ruins any merit that it would have had.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's stupid when they can run you and you're shooting them with the pistol while they're charging you, and then they can melee you before you get the kill.
Mm-hmm.
That's just...
Well, it's like, but what they're going for in Splitgate, of course, is like Halo, where they have normal weapons and power weapons. So your power weapons are your Zookas, your railguns, your shotguns, and your snipers. And that's fine. It's like, if you find a shotgun in a normal Splitgate match, it's only going to have like 6 shots, I think, in it.
Yeah, and so only one person's going to have it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But yeah, but Splitgate, of course, they have that. And then, of course, the Fiesta mode's fun because you get to start with a power weapon if you're lucky. But they also have the complete opposite of power weapon, just the worthless weapon, which is the pistol.
Yeah, and you're right. It doesn't show up a lot. I never really thought about it, but I always figured it didn't show up a lot because everyone hated it and never grabbed it. I guess is kind of my thought on it. But...
It's a shame, though. Because I always like using pistols. Like, me and my brother have been playing Halo CE, and you gotta have that pistol. It's baloney, because every time we kill each other, we respawn without the pistol, and we gotta go find it.
That's alright. You'll find it.
But what is cool about Halo over Splitgate is Halo's got all the alien weapons.
Oh, yeah.
And those are cool because they do the plasma, right? So they're actual, they're less hit skin like the human weapons. They're all bullets,
mm-hmm.
And the plasma weapons they travel slower, but they do high shield damage. So if the enemy has a shield, like a energy shield,
yeah,
it'll drain that, and then you could switch to a human weapon and blast them. And that was always a cool combo because you get like there's the one alien pistol, and you get to charge it up, and then release it when you need to. You release it, take out the elite shield, and then you shoot them up. I
remember those ones from when I played just split screen multiplayer with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
When you were talking about, especially that charging up one. Halo's got some really iconic weapons though too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got the
definitely
the energy sword. That one's
yeah. It was so annoying in Combat Evolved where you couldn't pick them up though.
Oh, okay? I didn't know that.
Oh shoot! I spoiled it for you.
Oh no! Now I can't play the game anymore.
Nah, let's just play Kingdom Hearts again.
Yeah. Oh dang it!
Yeah. And of course, but that's such a cool formula that Halo and Splitgate have, where you just get the 2 weapons, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because then you get Battlefield and you can have a main weapon, a sidearm, a knife, and a C4 pack or whatever. And it's just a little too muddy for me. I like it where you just have the two weapons, and they give you such diverse weapons that you're going to be combining them. And then, of course, Halo 2 comes out, and you could dual wield, and you can combine, like, a human SMG with a alien blaster, so you don't even have to switch weapons when you're taking out shield, and then but that just flows really well, and it makes every loadout unique.
Yeah.
and you get experiment and sandbox with it.
And honestly, when you were saying that too, it just makes Master Chief seem more badass when he's holding two weapons, two like blasters like that. That's pretty cool.
That's what you got to realize about Master Chief is like he's supposed to be the super soldier, and that he can make the most of it with whatever he got. So you're gonna run out of ammo in the game, and you'll pick up an alien weapon instead, and tear shit up and switch weapons on the fly, and you're always switching your loadout because you run out of ammo. And even in multiplayer, where you got to run around and find the power weapons, you're running out of ammo, and you got to switch on the fly, and it's cool. And then, of course, it was also cool because everybody started on the same page. Like, we all start with a battle rifle and a pistol or whatever, and then you go find the weapons. So it was more improvisational, whereas I think when Halo 4 started the loadout idea, where you can pick a loadout at the start of the game and start with the whatever specific weapons you want and not be creative.
Mm-hmm.
And that encourages like a meta, like you see in Call of Duty, where everybody's using the same loadouts because it's the best.
That's funny you're talking. You brought up Call of Duty because I played last night with my friend, and they added these like little hand shotguns, like sawed-off shotguns, and they're so overpowered. Everyone's using them right now. Because you can dual wield them too, like if you level them up enough. So everyone's sitting behind a little corner waiting for you to run out, and then they one-shot you. It's terrible.
So are they like double barrels sawed-off shotguns like Mad Max?
Yeah. And
you reload them dual wielding?
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. It's so bad.
That was always the trouble with dual wielding in shooters, is the reloading part. Like, how does that even work?
Yeah.
More often than not, they just lower the gun off screen so you can't see what they're doing.
Yeah, well, it's like, I wonder, it would be interesting to get like an off-camera, like mod to see what the character models are doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's stuff on YouTube, but,
well, I like how Reaper in Overwatch, like they face that challenge, and he just throws the guns away and pulls new ones.
That's good, actually. Yeah, I always love it in movies where they kind of like throw the clips up in the air and like catch them midair with the gun. I know it's cheesy, but it looks cool. So was your first one those the Halo weapons, or were you just bringing up Halo?
I'm always bringing up Halo, dude.
No.
But yeah, it kind of was. What do you got to talk about here?
Oh, I got some more Final Fantasy weapons, starting with the Gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII. So there's a character named Squall, or Leon if you meet him in Kingdom Hearts.
Wait, his name's Swole?
Squall, like SQU.
Oh. I was thinking like Ben Swallow Swole.
Oh, dude, that'd be even cooler. But his weapon is a gunblade, or the starting weapon, and the hilt of it, or the like the handle you hold, looks like a revolver gun.
Right. And
then it has like a huge sword that sticks out from that gun, or that handle, basically. And I mean, it looks pretty cool. Like, I mean, impractical, yeah. But, like, it looks like that's every Final Fantasy weapon, though.
Well, I've always liked the Gunblade. I had that, whichever Final Fantasy that was on my computer as a kid, and
Oh,
Obviously, I
8,
didn't
yeah.
get into it, but I always liked the Gunblade, so.
No, and also, like, it's just, it's interesting because that weapon, they give you more mechanics than just the turn-based combat in Final Fantasy VIII with that one.
Hmm.
So, when Squall's attacking, you can time his hit correctly. And if you do, like, you press R1 when his hit lands.
Oh, kind of like Paper Mario style?
Kind of like that, yeah. And if you time it correctly, it doesn't really let you know when to time it, though, like Paper Mario. But if you time it correctly, you'll land a critical hit. And I think, I think that's a really cool addition. I mean, this was on the PS1, like, before Paper Mario and all that. I think, actually. Paper Mario was...
I don't know. I thought it was like DS or something.
No, I think it might have been 64. I don't know if the original Paper Mario did that, though. But that gun was, like, so cool. And then,
it's just like a pistol with a bayonet, basically, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, it's a sword.
Oh, yeah, obviously it's a full sword.
So,
but...
it's not just, like, a little... And, like, I don't know, it's a very iconic look because it's so different, I think. Like, by when this came out, nothing was really like that. And I think... honestly, that's why I think Final Fantasy has some more iconic weapons than anything. Like, are you looking?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. They definitely got the fantasy down. Like it's not like your typical Warcraft fantasy.
Exactly, it's like something they made up, and in their mind, and they're like, we're gonna make this happen, and they do a really good job at doing that.
It is pretty cool.
The gunblade, yeah, that gunblade
does the barrel go throughout the whole gun? Or the blade?
So it, like, it's a PS1 game, so it's kind of hard, but, like, when you fire, because pressing R1 is like firing the gun instead of just attacking.
You just go out the side.
It just makes a little explosion, so it's kind of...
Right.
I don't know where it really fires from, but I imagine it would have to be, like, either the top or the side. Like,
that's got to be... Imagine firing that for real. That is so dangerous. A big sharp blade, and then you get the recoil.
Yeah. Yeah, but no one would want to fight you because they don't know what it would do. It's like, they'd all forfeit. You wouldn't even have to fight.
Yeah, I'd make the barrel go along the top of the blade,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But then, that, like, the blade's only sharp on one side of it. So you'd have to, like, stab him in, but normally he, like, slashes.
But that's a cool one because, like, they've been putting gunblades in a bunch of other fantasy since then too.
Yeah.
Like, well, Halo, they have the brute weapons, which have blades on them, and they do more melee damage, but not entirely a gunblade. But like Fallout, especially like Fallout 4, you could put a huge bayonet on your pistol. Basically make your own gunblade, I guess. And then, of course, like, tabletop RPGs that got stuff like that, which is cool.
So, wait, you were saying, like, you can, like, customize your gun in Fallout 4, huh?
Yeah. Have you not played Fallout 4?
So, me and Fallout have a very complex history. Actually, I'll go into it a little bit. I've played New Vegas.
Uh-huh.
And I would technically say I beat New Vegas. And I would also technically say I beat Fallout 4.
Right.
But I made my own ending.
Okay.
So in Fallout 4, I'm gonna some spoilers because I made it to very far in game. So spoilers for Fallout 4. So I met my son. You find your son, with the institute, whatever. And, you get that choice if you're going to work with him or not.
I never did.
Okay, so I technically never did either. But I kind of like I thought about it and I basically I misclicked like I did in New Vegas as well. And I agreed to work with him. And then he kind of like walked off. I'm like, fuck this. So I killed him. And then he had synths that were like up, like all looking over for me. And what I did, I don't know how I got away with it, Brennan, but I went to his room and I ducked in the bathroom, right? In the shower, like just in, you know. And the synths literally would walk up to me, look around, and then walk away.
Ah, Bethesda.
and then they stopped looking for me, and I'm like, am I good? And I started like walking around, and I just left. And that's my ending of Fallout 4.
Oh, man. Well, let's
and
see.
I haven't touched it since.
My first time I played a good guy, you know, and I did I think I did Railroad and Minutemen ending for that. And then my second time I did the Brotherhood ending, which was super cool. Brotherhood quest. Have you done it? It ends in a giant robot.
I don't think I joined
Pretty
any
epic.
of them.
Yeah. I don't know. Fallout 4 is weird. Like, obviously, it doesn't have the roleplay like the older games did, but the gunplay is fun.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing most of the time, you know? So I think that's a win.
Yeah.
And how you could customize them, well, it's kind of disappointing, but you can fix it with mods. It's just kind of like upgrading certain parts, and at the end of the day, there's a meta for your weapon. You know, just get the best parts on it. So I'm sure there's mods out there that fix it, so it's like it actually changes your gameplay to how you want to play with the weapon.
That was also the first Fallout that did that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because with games like that, normally like the first time they do something, it's not great. But I think with like Fallout 5, like we'll see down the line that they've upped that mechanic and like really went in depth there. Yeah.
I wonder if they'll have stuff like that in Starfield.
Yeah.
Well,
Starfield's interesting just to me still because like it comes out next year and all we have is a cinematic trailer.
Oh.
But apparently it's going to be at the Tokyo Game Show tonight. Or in the morning.
Well, yeah, I guess like they got bought by Microsoft, and Microsoft was like, "All right, here's some programmers for you.
Yeah.
Whip it out."
Yeah, basically.
Waiting too long. Like
but they announced
10 years since Skyrim.
Yeah. And I mean the 10-year anniversary just came out. But I was reading today about Starfield, and they said that they are it's gonna launch with like a bunch of different languages, like all over, and then it's gonna have more like recorded dialogue lines than any of their other games, like 150,000. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of lines. Awesome. Especially when you're doing all those lines for each language that you have. You know, that's a lot of recording time. So it makes me skeptical about that release date still. Like that even makes me more skeptical.
I wonder how it's gonna compare to Outer Worlds. Have you played that one?
No, I haven't. I know the sequel's coming out.
I couldn't play too much of it because it had like kind of a chromatic aberration filter that you couldn't really turn off on it, so it's kind of hard to look at.
Oh, okay.
But it seemed cool. I'll try it again sometime.
Excuse me, sorry.
But yeah, Bethesda's weird. Like Fallout 4 weapons, obviously super fun, just a great time, and you got the Fat Man, and you got one of my favorites, the Rocket Fist. Honestly, what I like playing with the most was just a baseball bat. And eventually you could upgrade it and put like jets on it and stuff. And a freaking ship cannon. that you could just shoot cannonballs at people with. Oh yeah, and then of course there's mods that launch like, it's like a fat man, but it launches Sean, little baby Sean, and then probably like lands and calls down a bunch of Thomas the Tank Engine, because there's always a Thomas the Tank Engine mod for every Bethesda game.
Yeah, I mean Bethesda and their the mods make their games replayable as they are.
That's why people are still playing Skyrim, not because you keep releasing it. It's because of mods.
Yeah, and then
remember when they tried to?
I want the nicer looking version for all my mods.
Yeah, I remember when they tried to monetize mods or charge for them.
Yeah, I know they put mods on consoles, which was a big deal. Yikes, but they were only like certain mods. Yeah, it's.
Well, I think you could still like jailbreak your console or whatever.
Well, I mean the mods are like approved mods,
right?
So they're like they're tested mods basically.
None of the good ones.
Yeah. And like probably the ones that don't have like properties, like there's probably no Thomas the Tank Engine mod on console because they can't really give away Thomas the Tank Engine, it's not theirs.
Well, it wouldn't be a problem if they weren't charging for them. Jeez.
Yeah. I don't think they charge on console anymore either, though.
I kind of wanted to compare Fallout to the Skyrim weapons.
Oh yeah.
And I hate Skyrim weapons, dude.
What?
They're just so basic.
Yeah.
Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, they are. I mean, the little bit I've played of Skyrim, I know what you're talking about.
Like, you got swords, axes, and maces, and
then you got iron swords, axes, or maces, and then steel swords. Yeah.
They just sort of do more damage. Not the greatest effects. I mean, and the Wabbajack is okay. It gets old, like, after a couple minutes. Nobody actually uses the Wabbajack. It's just cool that it's in there, lore-wise.
It would be cool, though. Like, even if they kept it that simple, I was just thinking this. If they got, like, molds you can unlock, like sword molds, so you can at least, like, customize your sword how it looks.
So
because you're at a forge making it anyway.
There was one game... Oh, sorry. There was one game coming out that is a failure. It's called Cube World. It's kind of a scam. Basically. But it was more RPG-ish. And, but you could upgrade your sword, and when you do that, you actually add voxels onto it and design it however you want it to look.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I thought that was super cool. I've always wanted that.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit in another podcast, but like I said, if they sold a character creator game, it would
Spore.
do well. People like that, where they feel like they can control every aspect. People are controlling. And they want to feel that power, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Character creation is my favorite part of a game.
Yeah. With weapons, though, it would do just as well.
Mm-hmm. You got any more games to talk about, Colton?
Oh, yeah, I only talked about one. You've been on a roll. I'm gonna skip over to one of my favorite, or actually my favorite series of all times, Kingdom Hearts. Another Square Enix, just iconic weapon. It's the Keyblade.
Oh no!
It's
God
the
Keyblade.
It's
not a blade. It's a cudgel.
It's a Keyblade. Some of them are sharp.
How?
Well,
how can they be sharp?
I could sharpen my key right now. You'll find out.
The
ones that find out.
The ones that look. I googled Keyblades, and there's some that look like car keys. That's what you're talking about. That's more of a blade.
There's one that's just like a knife, though. Like, look up Wayward to Dawn.
Okay.
Keyblade. But anyway, like, I think it's cool. Keyblades have the ability to lock or unlock anything. Whether it's item chest, whether it's doors, whether it's
That's like a sonic screwdriver, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like the sonic screwdriver, but it works on wood doors too. Which I think is really cool.
You know what else works on a wood door? An axe. Axes have actual blades. A steel door.
A steel door.
You could, if you had like a seal door, like a I think a club would.
I said steel, but that's terrible. Let's see. Keyblades free hearts from Heartless, which I think is also, it's like the only weapon that can really do that. So like Heartless are these creatures that steal people's hearts. You can like kind of defeat them with any other weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But you can only like free the hearts with that with the Keyblade.
Right, it's like a Master Sword situation.
Yeah. They can change forms in multiple ways. So Keyblades have they have those little keychains that are like hang off on the bottom. But if you change the keychain on a Keyblade, the Keyblade will turn into a different Keyblade.
Oh.
So it's not like multiple swords. It's just a keychain you're changing, and then it takes the appearance of.
Oh, so there's a lot of magic involved.
Yeah, a lot of magic. I mean, the weapon you can just summon out of thin air, like there's no like sheath or anything for it to like.
Well, yeah. I get the magic then. Okay. Yeah. You can take a club, enchant it, and then it'll have an invisible, sharp part of it that will be considered a blade. I get that.
A club blade.
But look at that hilt. You can't hold it comfortably.
Oh, yeah, you can. I have like 16 of them in my house, Brennan.
It's gonna be... Yeah, you would know.
I have the most... No, I kind of get what you're saying, because there's the
guard that goes into your wrist.
Yeah. But depends on how you're using it.
I mean, if you're using it as a key, sure, but not as a blade.
But the other thing that's cool about Keyblades, though, is, like, when I said they change forms, each Keyblade also has, like, their own forms they can change, which we've seen in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
So, like, there's one weapon one of the Keyblades actually turns into, like, arrow guns that shoot, like, light arrows out of it.
Oh, cool.
Others turn into staffs. Others turn into, like...
so
like go ahead.
I'm guessing with the charm enchantment, it's like... the Keyblades are kind of like a lightsaber, you know? How it's, like, so connected to the Jedi, right?
Yeah, well, so that's actually...
You wouldn't want your main character to be switching Keyblades, and it's like, oh, like there's a million Keyblades he's going to be picking up, and I'm like, okay, so it kind of takes the special away from it. But if you have the charm that just changes your specific Keyblade, then you're technically using the same Keyblade, and you have that cool mystical element there.
The Keyblade is like basically your power. So like the ability to wield a Keyblade is passed down through other Keyblade wielders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an elitist club. But so like Sora is kind of a special case for that rule. But like all the other wielders were passed down, and then when you really go back in far of history, like of Kingdom Hearts history, there's a character named the Master of Masters who kind of created the Keyblade.
Ah, okay.
And he
this is basically Jedi shit.
It is. It really gets in depth. Like, he took his eye, the Master of Masters, and put it in a Keyblade, and then wrote a book of prophecies of everything that eye will see. Like, all the events that will happen, and, like, this is what's gonna happen. And he's all like, yeah. And then, like, he had foretellers who were like, well, we're gonna stop this shit from happening. And then they kind of caused it to happen.
So it goes, man. You don't mess with the prophecy.
Yeah. And basically, yeah. So I think that's really cool. And then Because it's interesting because you find out like the Keyblade that the main bad guy had in Kingdom Hearts was like the Master of Masters Keyblade, and that's why he's seen all these events happening. It got like passed down to him.
So is he really bad, or is he just an agent of prophecy?
So it was he was bad, but he wanted to like use darkness to help recreate the world in a better image like that he had. So It wasn't really better, but it was like his image, but he had good intentions kind of behind it.
As every good villain does.
Yeah, but it was like bad. So it was I'm trying to think of the actors who played him, because they're big actors. It was it Christopher Lloyd?
Christian?
Christopher Lloyd, I think, was Xehanort, the bad guy. I might be wrong about that one.
Doc himself?
And then the his like best friend who died was Mark Hamill, actually. So
no, Mark Hamill, no.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's in Kingdom Hearts. Technically, so is Cody from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And they just added
Not
him.
Zack.
Yeah,
really? They
no,
put Zack and Cody
the
in
voice
Kingdom
actor.
Hearts?
It's the voice actor.
Oh, they should put They should put real Zack and Cody in.
I know, dude.
Their Keyblade is
been a running joke though forever.
Their Keyblade's a big old animal stick.
No, there's so many like big voice actors though. Especially from like Disney. Like Jesse McCartney's in there. I don't know if you remember him.
He's like a singer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that name.
Yeah.
Real
and then,
pretty boy.
Actually, Drake Bell was in it too.
Gross.
Which is not great anymore, but it was pretty cool at the time.
He's not even Disney.
He's not, but actually he was technically, because he was the voice of Spider-Man for the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know he actually did stuff.
Drake Bell? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was just Drake and Josh guy.
No, he did.
And Tony Pajamas.
Tony Pajamas. Oh no. God, I can't watch those stuff anymore without being upset though.
Woof.
It sucked because I did actually enjoy his music. Like,
didn't even know he made music.
What? That was like the whole reason he got a part.
Really? Wow.
Well, I mean, he did the theme song for Drake
I know.
and Josh.
I know he did the theme song. Like, okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, anyway, the Keyblade, super cool weapon. Honestly, out of everything on my list, that would be the one I would want the most. Because you can also...
That's the one you have the most.
It's the one I have, yeah. You can open portals to, like, other worlds through corridors of light or darkness, depending on if you're evil or good or whatever. It's pretty awesome.
Pretty mighty weapon.
Yeah, it is a mighty weapon. It's so powerful, and then they just keep adding things it can do for... It's a Deus Ex Machina of a weapon, honestly.
Yeah. Like I said, a sonic screwdriver.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Colton, what do you think about Breath of the Wild?
So, there was some breath there. It was pretty wild. and of the... Lots of the...
Yeah, okay. Well, you of course you play as the titular Zelda.
Yeah.
But come on, Zelda weapons, dude. Gotta love them.
So yeah, I was thinking about.
We all have them.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's talk about them. Breath of the Wild, you get your weapons break. What do you think of that?
I like that. I think that's a very. I like it too. I know a lot of people don't like it. I've heard so much hate on that, but I think that's so cool.
It's like running. Excuse me. It's like running out of ammo in Halo.
Yeah.
You get to use all the weapons.
Yeah.
That's what my biggest mistake is. I always try and get the Master Sword as soon as I can, and then oh crap! Well, I don't need any more weapons now. I have the Master Sword.
Exactly.
But what I've been doing in my last playthrough was like, I just used the Master Sword for cutting down trees, and I use regular weapons for everything else. Because like when they break, they do extra damage too. So
yeah, I was gonna say like, I think Breath of the Wild wouldn't be as good gameplay wise if the weapons didn't break. Because the whole idea of that game is, like, adapting to the situation in, like, the world you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally have to adapt to different weapons and different, you have to come up with different strategies just because your weapon's weak. And I think that's really neat. Because if you know how a weapon works, and that's the only thing you use, it's like, well, then you're going to be good at it. But, like, especially for a game where you can just run straight to the boss. Like...
yeah, you can use... Well, chickens are weapons. And then your powers, like stasis, that's a weapon. You can launch a rocket somewhere. Or...
yeah, I've seen some crazy tricks.
Bokoblins are weapons. Sometimes they... Wait. Are Bokoblins the big ones? Bokobo?
Chocobos.
So there's the little goblins, and then there's the big goblins. And the big ones will pick up the little ones and throw them at you.
Oh, that's right. I couldn't remember that. Like, I haven't beat that game, actually, because I got stuck somewhere.
You got stuck?
I did. Oh, I'm a little... But also, like, other games came out, and, like...
I love that game.
Yeah, that game.
I always want to play it in the springtime, and I'll play it, and then I'll go hiking, and I'll be like, oh yes, nature.
This is just like Breath of the Wild, like you're out in the forest.
This is just like Breath of the Wild. I think I want to go play Breath of the Wild.
Man, Mother Nature stole this from Breath of the Wild. That's crazy.
Sure.
Nintendo sues. Like right after.
Well, okay, so Breath of the Wild's cool though because like in all the other Zelda games, you have those utility items like the hook shot and the slingshot and the bow and arrow shot and the
in the mask,
the megaton hammer shot. But they just put them into actual weapons in Breath of the Wild that break, but like they all have the alternate use. Like obviously you can beat the shit out of a bokoblin with a boomerang, but you can also throw that boomerang and it's gonna come back, baby.
That was really cool, actually. I remember the first time when I found out like boomerangs were a throwable weapon like that. That's awesome.
And that just opens it up even more for alternate uses for all these weapons. Not even uses intended by the developers, Like they knew like, oh, let's give players like the option to experiment and maybe they'll find something crazy. Because they have the whole chemistry engine thing going on with like the fire and whatnot and how it all works.
Yeah.
So they just discovered how the physics in this world work and opened it up as a sandbox. Whereas like the older games, like you could only hook shot certain spots, and there was like one way to solve every puzzle. But Breath of the Wild, everything's a puzzle. Combat's a puzzle, and there's a million ways to do it.
So there was this one puzzle, actually, you reminded me when you said there's multiple ways to like solve them. And it was like one of those little ball mazes where you like move the controllers. So I flipped my controller upside down.
Yep.
And used the back. Like it was like one of the first puzzles I did too. And
that's how I did it too.
I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself for that.
Yeah, then you see like other people, like I always get recommendations on YouTube and for Zelda still, even in 2021. Mm-hmm. And like they do stuff like they'll like glitch over the fence and they'll like stasis the ball and launch it over to the spot rather than deal with those, honestly, let's be honest, atrocious motion controls.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Man, but yeah, Zelda Breath of the Wild, that had some really good weapon mechanics in it for sure.
Yeah, I loved the breaking weapons. And so
Yeah.
that's like the best thing you could do late game is go to that one survival island and just kind of start fresh.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. But it is disappointing, like when there's one type of weapon and it's a weapon that doesn't respawn. Because a lot of weapons you find in the world will respawn, so you can mark it on your map and go get a new one if you need one.
Mm-hmm.
But like when your weapon breaks or whatever, and it was a really good weapon. But like I guess the legendary weapons that you get from like the heroes or whatever they are, you know, like Urbosa.
Yeah.
You can repair those, which is interesting.
Huh.
But,
I didn't actually know you could repair weapons in that game.
yeah, just the special ones like Mipha's trident and Urbosa's sword and shield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then of course the Master Sword repairs itself on its own.
Yeah. Like it's a time limit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A weapon that I got on here though. It's kind of iconic to a little series called Ratchet and Clank. It's called the Rhino, but the one I want to talk about is the Rhino 8.
What do you eat?
No, not Rhino spelled RYNO. For it's an acronym for Rip You a New One.
Nice.
But this one, the Rhino 8 is in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, the newest one. And the gun like summons like heavy objects or something from dimensional rifts from like different dimensions. So like a van will fall out and like land on the enemy. Or like rocks or missiles or whatever. And it's so cool, but the best part about this gun is it will also summon different Easter eggs from games. So one of the vans that it will summon is like the the Sly Cooper van from like, you know, Sly Cooper. You can also summon Jack and Daxter. Like, and it's crazy because like both those games are like games people have wanted to see for a long time again. Jack and Daxter, I know those fans have been waiting on Jack and Daxter 4 forever. And I don't even know if it's going to happen because Naughty Dog seems to be more concerned with like The Last of Us and other games like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Sly Cooper, I feel like Sly Cooper's got a pretty good chance to get its 5th game. It feels like PlayStation's been seeing like when they brought back Ratchet and Clank. I think they'll see like people actually really want to see these old titles come back.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's the thing is like, I mean, can you even get like the old team back? You know,
the old team. I mean, PlayStation.
Like, even Halo, they did Halo 3 and then ODST, and then they were pretty much done. They didn't want to make any more Halo. They made Reach and then stopped with Halo, and then 343 was made, completely different cast.
I don't think
to continue it.
You need the old team though. I don't think you need like the original people who worked on the game. Like maybe some of the writers would be awesome, but like Ratchet and Clank wasn't really, I think, other than the actors and stuff, it really wasn't like the original writers, I don't think. And like that game was phenomenal. It's just it really takes someone who knows the world though. Like that's what you need, you know. You need like a mega fan to write the script for the game, and you need
obviously it's gonna be different.
Yeah, because the head writer for Ratchet and Clank is running the remake for Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh.
Yeah, so like
What do
that's
you
why
know?
I don't feel too like skeptical right now of Knights of the Old Republic. I was like Ratchet and Clank was so good. So I'm like I'm feeling pretty good about that. You know, like especially after just coming out of Ratchet and Clank. Plus there's not much it's harder to ruin Knights of the Old Republic than
We'll
make
see.
it. I don't know. I mean, like if you
Star Wars fans are toxic, dude.
Okay, but if you follow the script, which I mean, I feel like they'd have to. Like the only thing you could really hate on is like the new content they might add. And I don't think like a couple extra side missions and like maybe some new ships or something is gonna ruin a game. You know, like don't do those side missions or run the ships.
But then the Star Wars fans are also gonna be like, "Oh, they didn't even add anything new. They're just reselling it."
Yeah, they remade it. That's what you wanted, though.
There's always gonna be a problem.
Yeah, Star Wars fans don't know what they want, and it's kind of bad.
Jeez. Well, there you go. Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, yeah.
Last one I wrote down was Valheim. I've been playing Valheim lately. You played it, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's good. It's like Minecraft, but with Vikings.
Minecraft?
But it looks like RuneScape.
That's just the Yogscast, dude.
Well, they just had a big update. Well, an update. A good update. It wasn't, like, super big, but...
I guess.
I don't know. I like the game. The weapons are cool. Every weapon has like kind of a alternate attack that's special to it. Like the sword will do like a stab. The
bow will do like a bow.
Yeah, the mace I think will do like an uppercut or something. And then there's a weapon called the Atgeir, which is like a big glaive type thing. And does a big sweeping attack.
And
it's
then
pretty cool.
And then if you're Bryce, your teammates will keep picking up your spear when you throw it. I remember because I was watching you guys play it, and Bryce is like, "You got my spear."
Yeah.
After you throw it.
Yeah, I don't like the spear at all.
Who's got my spear? Like just constantly. It was so funny to me.
But what's cool about it is when we play is we all generally pick kind of a different weapon that we like just naturally, which is cool. I love the Atgeir. That's my favorite one. And then Nick likes the spear for some reason. He's crazy.
Yeah. But they got Viking magic for me? Do I get to be the Viking magician? Pick a card?
Well, there's no like spell casting. You can get like enchanted arrows.
Can I enchant the arrows myself?
Well, you can craft them.
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess that counts. Okay. I'm in.
Well, what? It's like $14 game and it's like a gigabyte download. It's literally
much.
1 gigabyte, dude.
Gigabyte? That's a whole gigabyte. That's 1,000 megabytes.
That is a... Yeah. I don't know. It's cool. You got anything else?
I mean, I could, but we are running short on time. I just wrote some extra stuff just in case. But we're already at the 50-minute mark, past that. So...
Well, just do one more.
Oh, okay, I'll do one more.
Or I could do an ad read. This episode of the Weekly Rundown is brought to you by water. Grab a glass. Have a sip. Fuck you.
Yum, yum, yum. Water for my tummy. That was good. I like your ad. I liked your underwear ad last episode a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When I was editing
they don't sponsor us anymore.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You
Um,
can't talk about it.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Anyway, that will be it for this week's episode. Um, we had a fun time talking about weapons. All that fun stuff. Brennan, do you have a?
Well, there's one weapon I'm waiting for that they add to Halo. Dad's belt.
Dad's belt, man. Just the quick snap of leather. I thought you tried making that sound, but it didn't read on my end.
Oh, didn't? Here.
No. Oh, that was good. That was a good one. All right, guys. I'll be back with the news and the upcoming games in just a bit. But until then, bye.
But
Bye. Bye.